Now, this video is about writing equations. And in this segment, I'm going to focus on writing equations when given a slope and an ordered pair, or in shorthand, a point. When we write an equation, there are three different options that we can use to our benefit: point slope, slope intercept, or standard form. And really, we want to focus on the information that's given us to help us decide which option to use. They're all the same. So here, I need to start with point slope form. Well, excuse me, I'm given a slope and I'm given a point. That makes sense to do point slope, slope point, point slope form. So that formula is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Where in this case, 4 would be x sub 1, y would be, negative 5 would be y sub 1. So I would say y minus negative 5 equals 2/3 x minus 4. There's my y sub 1, there's my slope, there's my x sub 1. And since I have this one y minus a negative, that'd be y plus 5 equals 2/3 x minus 4. And I'm done, son. That's why I like point slope. But sometimes, maybe you have a teacher who's petty. I don't know who I would be talking about. And they say, you know what? I'm giving you this slope and I'm giving you this point, this ordered pair. But I actually want it in slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. You have two options here. You can start off with point slope form and convert, or you can jump straight into slope intercept form. So a lot of us feel comfortable with point slope form. I'll start there. Again, I'll just cheat and take what I have. So, well, not cheat, be strategic. So here's the starting point, because this is the same thing. But slope intercept form, again, is y equals mx plus b. And this does not say that. This says y plus something, not y equals. So when I'm going to solve this for y, I'm going to isolate the y on one side. And to do that, I'm going to follow my steps. So I'm going to use my distributive property. And I'm going to say y plus 5 equals 2/3 x minus 4 over 3. And then I'm going to subtract my constant. And that gives me y equals 2/3 x. And then that's a fraction. They both need to be it. So negative 15 over 3, or minus 15 over 3. And 4 minus 15, excuse me, that should be an 8. Oopsie daisy. Because 2 times 4 is 8. Come on, Miss Kennedy. And so 8 minus 15 is minus 23/3. I can't simplify that. That's a prime number. Both of them are, so they don't share a common factor other than 1. This one's already simplified. There's my equation in slope form, intercept form. Now, another way to do this is to jump straight into the y equals mx plus b formula. And the thing is, though, I have a y, I have an m, I have an x, but I don't have a b. So what I suggest you do is just plug in what you know to find what you don't. So negative 5 is my y, 2/3 is my slope, 4 is my x, plus b. I don't know it. So that gives me negative 5 equals 8 over 3 plus b. I'm going to subtract this 8/3 from both sides. And again, I need this to be a fraction. So negative 15 minus 8 is negative 23 over 3 equals b. Yes. Well, now that I have a b, I can go back to here and say y equals slope 2/3 x minus 23 over 3. Same thing. So it doesn't matter which way you go. Finally, oh, Miss Petty Patty. She said, you know what? Give it to me in standard. So once again, you can start with your point slope. You can put it in slope-intercept form and then go from slope-intercept form into standard. So let's do that. I'm just going to start with the slope-intercept form since we've already done the work. And remember, standard form is AX plus BY equals C. That means my X and Y need to be on the same side. So I don't need an X over here. I need it over here. Well, let's just subtract 2/3 X. And subtraction property of equality says if I subtract that from here, I have to subtract it from here. So Y minus 2/3 X equals negative 23 over 3. I would love to stop there. It's looking good enough, right? Nope, not good enough, but not good enough. So remember that the integers for our A, B, and C must be whole numbers. And quite frankly, these are not. I need to get rid of these denominators. So I'm going to multiply everything by 3. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times negative 2/3 is minus 2x. 3 times negative 23 over 3 is negative 23. And last but not least, this x has to be first. So I'm going to say negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 23. Now I got it in standard form. But honestly, guys, that's a lot of work. To do this, you would have had to start with your point slope form, then convert it to your slope intercept form, then convert it to your standard form. That's a lot. So another option is when you have your point slope form, right? Distribute your 2/3 and you get y plus 5 equals 2/3 x minus 8 over 3. Bring your 2/3 x over, or subtract it from here to cancel, and subtract 2/3 x here. So then you get y minus 2/3 x plus 5 equals negative 8/3. Then you subtract the 5 from both sides, and you get y minus 2/3 x equals, that has to be a negative 15 over 3. Negative 8 minus 15 is negative 23 over 3. And then you have to do the whole times everything by 3 and rearrange, because if you notice, this looks just like this, and you will end up with the same thing. Negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 23. Last but not least, there's a way to skip both of these and just jump right into the nitty-gritty. So let's see how we do that. If m equals 2/3 and I have a slope of 4, negative 5. Remember, the slope of standard form is negative a over b. So if I have 2/3, then the a must have been negative 2 and the b must have been 3. So I can write that as, I wrote my b like a 3. I can just go ahead and say negative 2x plus 3y equals c. I need a c. So I'll substitute my 4 and negative 5. So negative 2 times 4 plus 3 times negative 5 equals c. Solve. Negative 8 minus 15 equals c. Negative 23 equals c. And now I have an a, b, and c, and I can go back to this and say negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 23. And that's exactly what I got here and exactly what I got here. So there is a faster way, but if you don't feel comfortable changing the sign of the slope and then splitting it amongst the, what's this thing called? The a and the b, you can always put it in standard form and convert it, or you can put it in point and go from there. It's up to you.